Welcome to this 5-part series on prefabricated modular data centers, covering the past and current market and what the future of that market looks like. I'm Thomas Humphrey from Schneider Electric, the North American Business Development Manager for prefabricated data centers. And with me is Joe Kramer, the Global Director of Sales and Marketing. Welcome, Joe.
Thanks, Thomas. It's great to be here. Love to talk about the business.
Excited for this. So, first of all, let's look at what is a modular data center, right? A lot of people probably think it's, a little data center in a box, but really there's about 4 types of data centers that we classify, right? We've got like the power only module, which comprises basically all the power infrastructure for a building or, for a part of a building. We've got cooling only modules, which, all the hydronics and whatnot that would support a data center. The all-in-one is probably the closest thing to what people think a modular data center is. It's everything: IT racks, remote rack mount PDUs, power, cooling, even the transfer switch, everything basically but the generator. And then data halls, which is white space in a box, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at where we've come as Schneider Electric, like how did we get started in this? How did we get to where we are today in prefabricated data centers?
Well, it's an interesting story. I mean, it really goes 10, 15 years back in time. The very first thing that really caught the market's attention actually happened in 2008 when Microsoft said, hey, I want to build a data center made out of shipping containers, right?
Yeah.
And that was really an interesting thing that got a lot of people's attention. From there, Schneider really started to look at this market and study it and really believe that this was going to be something that took hold. It's going to take some time, as it has. That was 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But we really looked at that being something that was going to happen in the market, right? It was going to take time. There was just too many benefits. There were too many things happening that was going to drive this, right? So I actually got involved in this business in about 2012.
Okay.
And it was really an interesting time where we were telling a lot of people all the great things about it, but there's still a lot of skepticism, right? It was something new, something was still evolving. A couple things that we did at that time, we bought a little company called AST that had some capability, done a lot of projects. We also acquired a company called Lee Technologies that brought in the ability to do design build and on-site projects. And really those two things together helped us grow the business to where it's come to today. And that's where we started, and we started to tell the story, and we were learning, trying to figure out where this made sense.
Yep.
It took a couple, 2-3 years for us to really start to find some sweet spots where this really started to resonate. And so when we got to 2015, 2016, we started to see people find ways to use prefab more and more. And then it really took off around 2018 when the large data centers, the hyperscalers really started to adopt this approach. And it really transformed around that time when we had a lot of conversations prior to that were about convince me why I should consider doing this, and it changed to help me understand how I can do it faster, right? And so the adoption really clicked around that time, and it's just gone gangbusters since then.
So, a lot of us who follow the industry, we hear, ranges from like 12 to 13% to 25% compound annual growth, right? So this is a huge growth sector, but beyond growth, how does this fit into Schneider's strategy? What makes prefab a good fit for Schneider?
Well, I think the first thing is it's what the market wants, right? More and more, I'd say something like 20% of data center capacity now is being deployed in a prefabricated module of some type. So the market wants us. Our customers want it, right? And we want to be there with them. I think the other thing that we see is Schneider makes 90% of the components and the things that go inside of a data center.
Right.
So it's an opportunity for us to make sure our components are inside these prefabricated data centers. So those are the two big drivers, but really it's about the marketplace and being a solution provider to our customers.
So, we kind of understand how we got here, why we want to pursue this market. Schneider seems pretty good at it. Now that, you and I talk to customers all the time, but what are you seeing what are the things that are going to drive the future of this market, right? What are the things going to keep this flywheel moving, so to speak?
So there's a couple of things, but the biggest thing that's going to drive it now is what's going on with cloud computing, right? There's just so many data centers that are being built, so many large data centers that are being built, have to be built fast. there's basically a race between all of the suppliers out there to build data centers, and that's really where prefab adds a lot to those customers' future, right? So that's going to be a big driver in many forms, right?
Yep.
The other thing we see is just the transformation in technology that's happening all over the place. So
Sure.
there's more and more technology that is being deployed everywhere, right? And more that's driving the need for a data center that wasn't there before, right? So there's that is going to drive many more applications and use cases for prefabricated data centers. Kind of building on both of those things, there's this very unique part of the market that we call network edge, right?
Okay.
Which is going to be driven by new software-enabled applications, by 5G communication that is going to manifest, we think, in lots of prefabricated data centers all over a geography, all over a city, or all over a country. And then the last thing kind of underpinning all of that is the sustainability that we can provide.
Sure.
In all those contexts, right?
Yeah.
That's a core value of what Schneider Electric brings and is a very important topic for all of our customers.